One of the most frustrating things about getting older is how we often lose our confidence, especially when we compare ourselves to younger men. Their constant push for fitness and youthful energy can make older guys feel like they've lost their appeal. But here's the thing, they haven't. In fact, there's something truly remarkable about older men. They bring wisdom, resilience, and a level of maturity that only life experience can provide. And this is where Stoicism comes into play. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of unnecessary worries, like comparing ourselves to others. Instead of getting caught up in external appearances or fleeting youth, it encourages us to develop inner strength and confidence rooted in our character and values. This mindset allows older men to carry themselves with a sense of purpose and calm that often outshines youthful energy. While younger guys might seem confident, their actions can sometimes reveal insecurity or immaturity. That's one reason why many women find older men appealing. They value the stability, perspective, and self-assuredness that come with age. So today, let's explore how embracing a Stoic approach can help you see your worth, despite what society might make you believe about aging and attraction. Before we dive in, take a moment to subscribe if you're ready to transform how you handle relationships using the power of Stoicism. Every video is a step toward mastering your mindset and building stronger, more meaningful connections. So, what makes older men attractive? To really understand what makes older men stand out, we need to take a look at what women are drawn to. Often it's the way a man is perceived that makes him seem more attractive in the dating world. Women have a range of deep desires, one of which is protection and feeling secure with their partner. But that's not all. A big reason younger men often catch women's attention is their drive in life. They seem motivated, always moving forward, which makes them seem more action-oriented. On the other hand, older men tend to be more cautious, waiting longer before making big moves. They don't rush into things, which can sometimes come off as less exciting to women who might be drawn to bolder, risk-taking behavior. But this difference doesn't mean older men aren't attractive. It just means they bring something different to the table. As we get older, there are some qualities that make older men more attractive, and one of these is patience. While younger men tend to react quickly to situations, older men understand that not every moment requires an immediate response. They know when to stay calm, and women notice this level of patience. It helps them feel grounded and secure. Another reason older men are more appealing is that they're usually more settled in life. They spend time working on their personal growth and improving their circumstances. This quiet ambition, often focused on long-term goals, is something women pick up on because many women crave stability and a well-balanced routine. It's this focus on personal progress that makes older men attractive, not just to themselves, but to others as well. But there's one more thing that can make older men even more desirable. As they get older, their priorities change. Younger men often feel like they have to give up a lot of themselves to prove their worth in a relationship. They focus on making their partner happy above all else. On the other hand, older men tend to focus more on achieving personal success and growth. Their energy is spent on improving their own lives rather than constantly seeking to please someone else. This shift in focus is actually very attractive to women because they are drawn to what feels more elusive, someone who isn't overly invested in them, but is deeply involved in their own journey. So what are the clear signs that women see in an older man that make him stand out? Let's explore. Number 1. Eye contact. Let's talk about something so simple yet incredibly telling. Eye contact. It might not sound like a big deal, but trust me, it says so much. Have you ever been walking down the street, passed by a store window, and suddenly something inside catches your eye? You stop, look back, maybe even step closer. That's exactly how attraction works sometimes. Our eyes give us away before we even realize it. When a woman finds you attractive, her eyes are often the first to betray her. She might glance your way, hold your gaze a little longer than usual, or even sneak in a quick look when she thinks you're not paying attention. It's almost like her eyes are trying to communicate something she hasn't yet said out loud. But here's the thing. Women don't usually make intense eye contact with just anyone. Strong eye contact can feel intimate, even vulnerable. So, if she's locking eyes with you, or if you catch her glancing at you repeatedly, That's worth paying attention to. Sometimes when she notices you've caught her looking, she might quickly glance away. That shy little moment? It's like a playful retreat, a sign that she's interested but doesn't want to give away too much. Now let's tie this to something deeper: Stoicism. In Stoicism, there's a concept of paying attention to what truly matters, of being present and aware in the moment. Eye contact is a perfect example of this. It's a moment of shared attention, where words aren't needed but meaning is felt. A Stoic would say that reading these subtle cues, being observant without obsessing over them, helps you respond in a way that's grounded and calm. So the next time you're talking to someone and notice her holding your gaze, take it as a sign. But don't overthink it. Approach the situation with confidence and poise. Stoicism reminds us that we can't control how others feel about us, but we can control how we carry ourselves. And that calm self-assurance? That's attractive in its own right. In the end, those moments of eye contact are more than just glances. They're opportunities. They're windows into attraction, curiosity, and connection. And when you start to notice them, it's like a whole new world opens up. Have you ever experienced this kind of unspoken exchange? Think about it. It might just change the way you look at attraction. Number 2, the power of a smile. Let's dive into something so simple yet so powerful: the magic of a smile. Think about it. A genuine smile can light up an entire room. It's not just a random facial expression. It's an invitation, a little signal that says, "Hey, I see you and I like what I see." Now here's where it gets interesting. When someone is truly drawn to you, their smile isn't just polite, it's different. Have you ever told a joke that wasn't exactly Oscar-worthy, yet someone laughed anyway? That's not just kindness. That's attraction working its subtle magic. It's like her body can't help but react, and a smile becomes her way of saying, "You make me feel good just by being here." Smiling isn't just a social nicety, it's science. When she smiles at you, her brain is releasing dopamine, the feel-good chemical. It's not something she can fake. And when that smile happens while she's looking directly at you, it's her body's way of admitting, even if just a little, that you've caught her attention. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed someone laughing just a little too hard at your not-so-great jokes? Like you say something mildly funny and she's laughing like you're a stand-up comedian. It's not because you're the next Dave Chappelle. It's because she's interested. Attraction makes us more receptive to someone's energy, even when it's a little awkward or silly. And let's bring Stoicism into the mix here. One of the principles of Stoicism is to pay attention to what's within your control. Her smile? That's her reaction, something you can't force or control. But what you can control is how you carry yourself. If you're confident, grounded, and present in the moment, those smiles will come naturally. Why? Because people are drawn to authenticity. Another thing to notice, her level of engagement. Does she lean into conversations with you? Does she laugh at your jokes, even the corny ones? If you're talking, does she seem genuinely interested? These little cues might seem subtle, but they're worth their weight in gold. Think about this. Women are often more cautious when it comes to showing their feelings. It's not necessarily a game. It's self-protection. Smiling, laughing, and engaging with you are her safe ways of saying, "Hey, I'm into you, but I'm not ready to put it all on the table just yet." So the next time you notice her smiling or laughing just a little more than usual around you, don't brush it off. Be present, appreciate the moment, and show her that you're someone worth getting to know. Stoicism teaches us not to overthink or obsess over things outside of our control, but to remain steady, observant, and grounded. That's the kind of energy that not only makes you more confident, but also incredibly attractive. Have you ever noticed how someone's smile made your day brighter? Or better yet, have you seen how your presence brought a smile to someone else's face? Those moments are more meaningful than they seem, so pay attention because they're the start of something special. Number 3, attention to detail. Let's take a moment to talk about something that often goes unnoticed, but speaks louder than words. How much someone pays attention to the little things about you. It's subtle, but when a woman likes you, Her attention to detail can be astonishing. Imagine this. You casually mention during a conversation that you prefer black coffee in the mornings or that your favorite band is releasing a new album soon. Weeks later, she shows up with your go-to coffee or asks if you've had a chance to listen to that album yet. That's not coincidence, it's intentional. She remembers these details because to her, they're not small at all. They're little pieces of who you are, and she values them. When someone is genuinely interested, they'll pick up on things even you might have forgotten you shared. It could be a random story about your childhood or something as trivial as your favorite snack. And then, out of nowhere, she brings it up and you're left thinking, wow, I didn't even remember telling her that. That's not just a good memory, it's focused attention. Here's another sign. She starts offering advice or suggestions in your life. Let's say you're talking about a tough decision at work or how you're unsure about starting a new hobby. She might chime in with ideas or encouragement. And no, this isn't about her trying to take over your life or control your choices. It's her way of showing she cares and wants to see you succeed. If she didn't feel connected to you, she wouldn't bother. She'd just nod politely and move on. This brings us to the Stoic perspective. One of the core principles of Stoicism is understanding what's within our control and what isn't. Her attention to detail? That's her choice. Her effort to invest in you? But your response, that's on you. Are you noticing her noticing you? Are you appreciating her effort? Or are you brushing it off as just being nice? Think of it this way. Stoics believe in living in the present and valuing the connections we make. When someone goes out of their way to understand you better, it's a gift, a sign that they're not just passing through your life, but they want to be a part of your journey. Conversations with her might start feeling different too. They'll move beyond the surface level stuff and dive deeper. She might ask about your dreams, your challenges, or even your fears. And this isn't just small talk. This is her way of building a connection, of showing she's interested in you as a person, not just the image you project. Let me ask you something. Has anyone ever surprised you by remembering something about you that you didn't expect them to? It feels good, doesn't it? It's like, for a moment, you realize that you're seen, truly seen. That's the kind of attention that goes beyond casual attraction. So the next time she remembers something you said weeks ago, or she offers a thoughtful piece of advice about your life, take a moment to appreciate it. It's not just about her liking you, it's about her wanting to be a part of your world. And if that doesn't make you pause and reflect, maybe it's time to take a page from the Stoic playbook, pay attention, be present, and value the meaningful connections in your life. After all, life isn't about grand gestures, it's about the little things that add up to something extraordinary. Number 4. She talks about your future together. Let's be real. Talking about the future with someone can feel a bit intimidating. But when a woman is into you, she can't help but let you slip into the vision of what's ahead. It's like you've become a main character in the story she's writing for herself. And honestly, that's one of the biggest compliments someone can give you. Here's the thing. Women are natural dreamers when it comes to relationships. If she likes you, her mind might already be painting a picture of what life could look like with you in it. And she might not come out and say it directly, but you'll catch the hints. Maybe she casually asks, "Have you ever thought about living near the beach?" Or says something like, "Wouldn't it be fun to take a trip to Europe someday?" These aren't just random musings. They're her way of testing the waters to see if your future visions align. It might even show up in smaller, more playful ways. Imagine you're both talking about your favorite foods and she says, "If we ever had dinner at that place, I bet you'd love their pasta." Or maybe she jokes about how the two of you would totally win at game night as a team. These little comments might seem lighthearted, but they're meaningful. It's her way of weaving you into her imagined future, even in the most subtle ways. Now let's look at this through a Stoic lens. Stoicism teaches us to focus on the present while remaining mindful of the future. A woman including you in her future isn't just about her attraction, it's about her recognizing your potential. She sees qualities in you that make her feel secure, excited, or inspired. But here's the Stoic twist. While it's wonderful to be part of someone's vision, remember not to lose sight of your own. It's a balance. You're not just being pulled into her world, you're choosing to build a shared future. And let's not forget, these kinds of conversations take courage. When a woman starts talking about the future, she's being vulnerable. She's opening up about what she wants and quietly asking, "Do you see this too?" That's not something people do lightly. A friend of mine once told me about a moment when he realized a woman liked him. They were at a coffee shop talking about life when she suddenly said, "I think it'd be fun to live in a small town someday, maybe somewhere near the mountains." At first he didn't think much of it, but then she followed it up with, "What about you? Could you see yourself somewhere like that?" That's when it hit him. She wasn't just talking about her dreams. She was imagining him in them. The truth is, when someone includes you in their plans, they're signaling something deeper. It's not just about liking your company. It's about seeing you as someone they want to invest in. Think about it. Would you picture someone in your future if you didn't feel something real for them? And for women, this instinct is often tied to their love for storytelling. It's like those romantic novels where the characters build a life together against all odds. When she starts dropping hints about shared adventures, she's writing the opening chapters of a story she hopes you'll co-author. So, if you notice her talking about the future, whether it's a casual mention of a hypothetical trip or a deeper conversation about life goals, pay attention. These moments are windows into how she feels about you. And if you're not sure how to respond, channel some Stoic wisdom. Listen with intention, respond with honesty, and appreciate the courage it takes for her to share her vision. Because at the end of the day, these moments aren't just about her imagining a future with you. They're an invitation to step into a future together. And that's something pretty special, don't you think? All right, before we jump back in, if you're finding this helpful, hit that like button. It helps YouTube share this with more men who need it, and it keeps the content coming. It's quick, free, and it makes a real difference. Thanks. Let's get back to it. Number 5. You become a trusted source. Let's face it, trust doesn't come easy these days, does it? Especially when it comes to relationships. People guard their hearts because, let's be honest, vulnerability can feel like giving someone a map to your weak spots. But here's the thing. If a woman starts seeing you as a trusted source, as someone she can confide in and rely on, that's a major indicator she likes you. Think about it. Women, more than anyone, often have to navigate the world with caution. They're selective about who they trust, and for good reason. So, when she starts coming to you for advice, it's not just because she's unsure of herself. It's her way of saying, "I value your perspective. I believe in your judgment." Let me tell you a story. A friend of mine, Mark, once told me about a woman he was seeing. She would often ask him for advice on work-related issues, things like how to handle a tough coworker or whether she should take on a new project. At first, he thought, she probably already knows what to do. And you know what? She did. But she wasn't just looking for answers, she was looking for his answers. She wanted to see if his values aligned with hers, if he genuinely cared about her well-being. This is where Stoicism ties in beautifully. The Stoics believed in living a life of virtue, showing wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice in your actions. When a woman begins to trust you, she's essentially evaluating whether you embody those virtues. Are you wise enough to give thoughtful advice? Do you have the courage to be honest with her, even if it's not what she wants to hear? Can you remain calm and measured, even when emotions are high? If the answer is yes, you're showing her that you're not just reliable, but also deeply aligned with the principles that build strong, meaningful connections. You might notice her asking your opinion on the smallest things, what she should wear to an event, which book she should read next, or even how she should approach a family issue. These aren't just random questions. They're little trust tests. She's paying attention to how you respond. Are you supportive? Do you take her concerns seriously? And most importantly, do your answers reflect someone who genuinely wants what's best for her? But there's a balance here, and it's important. If you come across as overly eager to help, or if you start solving every problem for her, it might feel like you're trying too hard. And trust me, That's not what she's looking for. She doesn't want a knight in shining armor to swoop in and rescue her. She wants someone who empowers her to make her own decisions while offering thoughtful guidance along the way. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Sometimes she might ask for your opinion on things she already knows the answer to. Why? Because she's not just seeking advice, she's looking for affirmation. She wants to feel like you're on the same page, that you see the world in a similar way. And when she gets that confirmation, it deepens the connection between you two. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that trust is a two-way street. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, and that includes how we respond to the trust someone places in us. If she opens up to you, handle that trust with care. Don't dismiss her concerns or treat her questions lightly. Instead, lean into those moments. Show her that you're present, that you respect her thoughts and feelings. So if you've noticed her turning to you for advice or leaning on you during tough times, take it as a sign, not just that she likes you, but that she sees you as someone she can count on. And that's no small thing. Trust is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. It's the thread that weaves two lives together, turning casual connections into something much deeper. Remember this, being her trusted source isn't about having all the answers. It's about being steady, reliable, and genuine. It's about showing up in a way that makes her feel safe, valued, and understood. And if she's chosen you to fill that role, well, that's something worth appreciating, isn't it? Number 6, she starts testing you. Here's the deal. Just because she likes you doesn't mean she's going to make it easy for you. In fact, she might start testing you more. Sounds tricky, right? But there's a reason behind it. She wants to see if you're the kind of guy who can stay strong, focused, and true to your goals, even when distractions come your way. Think about it from her perspective. When a woman sees a guy who's passionate about his purpose, who's working hard to create something meaningful in his life, it's incredibly attractive. But once she realizes she's drawn to him, that's when the test might start. She's not doing this to mess with you, it's more about figuring out if you're really as solid as you seem. These tests can show up in different ways. Maybe she doesn't text back right away or throws a curveball to see how you react. Maybe she hints at plans that could pull you away from what you're building. It's not about games. It's about seeing if you'll stay the course or abandon your path for her. Here's where a bit of Stoic wisdom can guide you. Marcus Aurelius taught that we should focus on what's within our control, our actions, our mindset, and our responses to challenges. If she's testing you, don't let it rattle you. Stay calm, composed, and aligned with your purpose. It's a chance to prove not just to her but also to yourself that you can remain steady no matter what distractions come your way. The mistake many guys make is dropping everything the moment they sense interest from a woman. They shift their priorities entirely to her, thinking it will make her happy. But here's the truth. That's often the quickest way to lose her respect. Women admire men who can balance their drive with their relationships, who know how to pursue their dreams and nurture a connection. So, if you notice her testing you, don't panic. Recognize it for what it is, a sign that she's interested and trying to see what you're made of. Stay focused on your goals, keep your priorities straight, and show her that while you value her, you also value yourself and the life you're building. That balance, it's what makes you truly irresistible. Number 7, she lets you into her world. This one's a big deal, and it's something you shouldn't take lightly. Think about it. Most women are pretty protective of their personal lives. It's not just about being secretive, it's about safeguarding something deeply personal. As women mature, they become more selective about who gets to see the layers beneath the surface. Here's the thing. If she's inviting you into her world, it's a major step forward. She might start introducing you to her closest friends, the people she trusts the most. And if things progress, she may even bring you around her family. That's no small thing. Family and close friends are her inner circle, the people whose opinions she values most. By letting you in, she's signaling that you've earned a special place in her life. Now let's be real. This can feel like stepping into uncharted territory, especially if you've been used to hanging out in more casual settings like with your friends or in neutral spaces. Suddenly you're in her domain, and that can come with a bit of pressure. Her friends and family might size you up, asking subtle or not so subtle questions to figure out who you really are. This is where the Stoic perspective comes in handy. Marcus Aurelius often spoke about focusing on what you can control. You can't control how her friends or family will feel about you, but you can control how you show up, confident, respectful, and true to yourself. Don't try to win them over by being someone you're not. Authenticity is your best ally here. When she lets you into her world, it's a sign that the connection is getting deeper. She's no longer just seeing you as someone fun to spend time with. She's envisioning how you might fit into her life long term. But remember, this isn't just about impressing her inner circle. It's also about showing her that you're ready to embrace her world without losing sight of your own. So, if she starts bringing you around the people who matter most to her, take it as a compliment. It means she trusts you, values your presence, and wants to see how you navigate her world. Handle it with care, and you'll not only deepen her respect but also strengthen the bond between you two. Women can be complicated, but here's the thing. As long as you're confident in yourself and moving forward in life, women will notice. The key is to keep progressing and be the best version of yourself. And don't forget, seduction is part of the game. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more tips on mastering a Stoic mindset and attraction. And most importantly, turn on notifications so you never miss a video.